What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to talk about draft prospect Isaiah Spiller. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. I do appreciate you guys continuing to share out my content on all the social media platforms. If you would like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you would like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. If you would like to be a part of my membership, the Jew Talk Sports membership is either $2.99 or $4.99. But I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for continuing to tune in. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So like I stated in today's video, I do want to talk about a draft prospect, Isaiah Spiller. Isaiah Spiller is a running back who played his college ball at Texas A&M. He's about 6'1", 225 pounds. And to me, I think that the Atlanta Falcons should strongly consider drafting Isaiah Spiller. He's a guy at Texas A&M who played there 3 seasons under Jimbo Fisher, who's an offensive-minded coach. Spiller is one of the better running backs in the draft. He's projected to be either a late first rounder or early to mid second round pick. I think the Falcons may be able to draft him with our second round pick. I believe we have 2 second round picks because of us trading Julio Jones to the Tennessee Titans last offseason. So I think the Falcons, if Isaiah Spiller is still on the draft board in the second round, I wouldn't take Isaiah Spiller with the number 8 pick. That's too high to take a running back, but I definitely would consider taking him if he's around in the second round. As you know, Arthur Smith, who's our head coach and offensive coordinator, runs a run-heavy scheme, some type of version of the West Coast offense. And last season, they went out and signed Cordell Patterson. They went out and signed Mike Davis, who was a huge disappointment last season. I believe he only rushed for about 550 yards last season. So he didn't live up to expectations for the 2-year deal that he actually signed. Cordell Patterson was actually the best running back that we had. He ran or rushed for about 660 some yards for us last season. But as you know, Arthur Smith, for you to get the best version of Arthur Smith's offense, you have to be able to run the ball successfully. And last season, there was too many games where we weren't able to run the ball consistently. Mike Davis had a lot of games where he didn't even eclipse 50 yards. Was a ton of games where he only had like 50 yards or less. And I think that Isaiah Spiller could be one of those guys who could be a featured back or be a part of the tandem. If they decide to bring back Cordell Patterson, which I believe the Falcons will bring back Cordell Patterson, Mike Davis still has 1 year on his deal left. And then you go out and draft, bring in a guy like Isaiah Spiller. Isaiah Spiller is very explosive with the ball in his hands. Another thing that I really like when I watch Isaiah Spiller's tape is he's a guy that if he hits a crease, he can take it to the house. Like he has that speed. And I like running backs to have the speed that they can go the distance. If they hit a crease, that they can outrun the secondary. And that's something that I noticed when watching Isaiah Spiller's highlight reel and watching tape on him is he's a guy that's very explosive out in space. He's a guy that can run in between the tackles or outside the tackles because he has that physicality and that size. And another thing that I really like about Isaiah Spiller is he's very good at catching the ball out of the backfield. And I definitely think that that's something that the Falcons are going to have to get back to. Like in the 2016 season, when they had Kyle Shanahan, he did a really good job of using guys like Devontae Freeman, guys like Tevin Coleman out of the backfield to take advantage of mismatches. As we always say, the NFL is a game of matchups. And I definitely think a guy like Isaiah Spiller out of the backfield, matching up on safeties, matching up on linebackers, I really believe he would be a mismatch nightmare because of his ability to be able to catch the ball out of the backfield. Similar to a player like an Alvin Kamara or a Marshall Faulk back in the day. Those guys are really good at catching the ball out of the backfield and catching the ball in space and creating. And that's something that Isaiah Spiller, when I looked at his tape, that's something that he does really well. Texas A&M did a good job of calling plays for him, whether it was wheel routes out of the backfield or whether it was screen passes or just quick option routes. He did a really good job of catching the ball and being a mismatch nightmare for linebackers. So I definitely think that that's something that the Falcons need to get back to, is not only running the football, but using your running backs out of the backfield and lining them up against linebackers where they have the advantage, they have the mismatches. But I definitely think that Isaiah Spiller is a guy that the Falcons should think about taking in the second round. Like I said, he's extremely explosive. He's one of those guys that's physical, but he's a guy, like I said, that's a playmaker. And the Falcons need as many playmakers as possible. As we know, last season, the Falcons didn't have a lot of weapons around Matt Ryan. And I think as Matt Ryan continues to age, we definitely have to continue to add pieces around him, similar to what the Buccaneers did with Tom Brady, similar to what Matthew Stafford and the Rams did with him, with creating and bringing in pieces like Odell Beckham, bringing in guys around the quarterback. I definitely think that that's something that's going to be very important in this offseason, to continue to bring in more offensive weapons for Matt Ryan. But I definitely think that Isaiah Spiller is a guy that we should strongly think about taking. Like I said, if you go watch his tape, he played in the SEC for Texas A&M, which the SEC, in my opinion, is the toughest division or conference in college football. Usually that's where the better defensive teams and offensive teams lie. And Isaiah Spiller did an excellent job. I believe he had over 1,000 yards 2 out of the 3 seasons there at Texas A&M. But he's a very durable player, didn't have many injuries, and he's a guy that's very explosive. Like I said, is a guy that you can use in a multitude of ways, not just in the running game, but also catching the ball out of the backfield. But you guys let me know what you think of the video. Do you think the Falcons should go after Isaiah Spiller in the draft? I definitely think that he's a guy that can help this Falcons offense, especially because he fits Arthur Smith's scheme with us being a run-heavy team, a heavy tight end set team. I definitely think that we need to go out and upgrade the running back core. But with that being said, this been your boy Jew. I'll holler at you guys in the next video. I have a lot more coming for you guys. But as always, Falcons Nation, rise up. Peace.